What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 6-game NBA DFS slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com and presented by Superdraft. We got ourselves just 6 games today as the pandemic panic sweeps the globe, so we need that power of positivity now more than ever in a variety of ways. So right now, please hit that like button. If you want a chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of Superdraft, like this video and comment your overall top value according to Draftkings salaries down below. Nobody gets Frank Ntilikina yesterday as he went off in a game that destroyed all my Knicks exposure. So let's get back on track today and guess it right by right now hitting the like button and commenting your top value play down below. But even on an ugly looking slate, we've got no time to waste here in the Four Corners. Let's get right into our first corner of the top owned plays, and Thon McCurr in a game at Philadelphia, where there's 100.3 implied points for Detroit. McCurr has 31% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 4% on FanDuel. McCurr's minutes were up last game as John Henson had some fouling and effectiveness issues, but other than McCurr's near minimum price and a chance to see run off the bench, he doesn't seem likely to hold as a chalk play as the day goes on. A more logical top owned play today looks like Luka Doncic in a game versus Denver, where there's 108 implied points for Dallas. Luka has 23% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 36% on FanDuel. Luka has 40% usage on the year with Kristaps Porzingis out, and that'll be the situation today after Luka seemed mostly unaffected by his wrist injury yesterday, as he put up 63.25 fantasy points on 13 for 26 shooting. And our last of the current top owned plays looks like De'Aaron Fox in a game versus New Orleans, where there's 116 implied points for Sacramento. Fox has 26% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 29% on FanDuel. Fox has had a fair price on both sites, and while he hasn't been over 45 fantasy points in his last 10 games, he's in a good situation today with New Orleans' high pace and an expected competitive game with a high total. And now for our next corner, here are some of the other current top value plays, starting with Tony Bradley in a game at Oklahoma City, where there's 107.5 implied points for Utah. Rudy Gobert missed shoot around with an illness and is currently questionable, and if he misses, Bradley is a 1.1 fantasy point minute player on the year who should see a solid jump in minutes at very cheap prices. Another current top value is Rashawn Holmes in that game versus New Orleans, where there's 116 implied points for Sacramento. Holmes played 19 minutes in each game of Sacramento's back-to-back as he returns to the lineup. He's in a good situation on his FanDuel price if he sees a boost in minutes thanks to the matchup with New Orleans. And our last of the current top value plays looks like Bobby Portis in a game at Atlanta, where there's 113.8 implied points for the Knicks. Portis has seen upwards of 27 to 30 minutes lately and went off against Washington yesterday with 37 fantasy points, but there remains some risk that he sees less run if the New York starters play less incompetently than they did yesterday. And now for our next corner, here are some of the other core plays that I'm looking at, starting with Julius Randle in that game at Atlanta, where there's 113.8 implied points for New York. Randle and the Knicks starters fell behind 18-4 in the first 4 minutes yesterday versus Washington and saw decreased court time as a result, but Randle and fellow failure Elfrid Payton are in good spots once again, worth trying to rebuild the trust in our relationship. Another core play today looks like Trae Young in that same game versus the Knicks, where there's 118.8 implied points for Atlanta. Trae got back on track last game with 61.5 fantasy points and a double OT win against Charlotte, and he'll be in a similar poor defense, lower pace situation today versus New York in a game with one of the slate's highest totals. And a cheaper core play for me today is Bogdan Bogdanovic in that game versus New Orleans, where there's 116 implied points for Sacramento. Bogdan spiked a big upside game against a comparably bad defense in Portland with 52 fantasy points recently, and while he's no sure thing with Sacramento's crowded lineup, he's at a solid price if he can play well against New Orleans' high pace. And now for our last corner, here are some lower owned dart throws that I'm currently looking at, including Dwayne Dedmon in that game versus the Knicks, where there's 118.8 implied points for Atlanta. Dedmon was up to 28 minutes and 33.75 fantasy points last game despite some foul issues, and that kind of run could pay dividends against New York with very affordable prices for Dedmon today. And another lower owned dart throw is his teammate John Collins in that same game versus the Knicks, where there's 118.8 implied points for Atlanta. Collins also looks under-owned thanks to his price at an uncomfortably high level, but he's been over 46.25 fantasy points in 6 out of his last 7 games, though he's more playable in lineups without Dedmon. And our last lower owned dart throw is a guy you probably love to hate right now in PJ Washington in a game at Miami, where there's 100.3 implied points for Charlotte. Washington disappointed a lot of people last time out with 6 fantasy points in 16 minutes versus Atlanta as the Martin twins cut into his court time, but he's an interesting contrarian option today as one of few correctly priced Hornets. So that's what I'm seeing so far for today's slate. So right now, please hit that like button. And if you want your chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of Superdraft, like this video and comment your overall top value according to Draftkings salaries down below. As always, those free months of Awesemo Plus come courtesy of Superdraft, so go check them out right now. Obviously, they are a sponsor of this video, but more importantly, they're helping you out a lot with a lot of great deals over there. Their multiplier game format's very simple, and they're giving you $20 free if you deposit over $100 if you use the promo code Awesemo right now. So do that at superdraft.io. Use that promo code Awesemo. Get yourself $20 free in super cash right away. And if you need some more data in your life, use this promo code SWITCHANDHEADS for half off your first week of any Awesemo Plus package. See all of your options right now at awesemo.com draftkings.com/join and use that promo code SWITCHANDHEDGE to get half off your first week. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. My personal podcast came out yesterday and it's on the pinned tweet right now, so you should be subscribed on there. But you can also see all my DFS content coming out in a given day if you follow me right now at Chris Spags. Tune in to Live Before Lock later tonight for Fast Eddie Fear and the Chubbs for Josh Engelman, taking you into tonight's slate. And of course, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another Four Corners. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great night, and one that includes the Knicks not screwing over all of my lineups once again. And I'll see you guys again soon. Good luck.